Hello everybody, Bionicle545 here with easily one of my biggest parts hauls to date. So I was recently on a trip in Albuquerque, New Mexico, the land of enchantment. Yes, I visited the house.
Get across the street now.
While I was there, I naturally couldn't pass up an opportunity to visit the local Albuquerque Bricks And Minifigs, where they had a big old bin of Bionicle parts that I basically stripped of every single piece that would be useful in mock making. This whole haul costed me $50 when it was all said and done, and like I said, it's easily one of my biggest to date. So I wanted to go over everything I got in it with y'all today. As you've been seeing, I've split all the parts into various different categories, and the first one we're going over is the chest pieces. Standouts were definitely these three, which all only came in one set each. Next up, we got various hand pieces. No real standouts here, just nice to get them in such a wide variety of colors. We've got a bunch of these dark gray rubber band holders. Only reason I took all these was because I had some space left in the bag, and just the sheer quantity of them made me think that I could use them for maybe like a structure or something. Now on to what may be my favorite part of this whole haul, all of these CCBS shells. If you don't know, CCBS shells are actually my favorite LEGO pieces, so it is fantastic to get such a large quantity of them. These all definitely being the standouts, which are some particularly rare shell colors. And otherwise, the main standout was just the sheer quantity of yellow and blue shells that were in there for some reason. Would definitely be cool to build like a massive mock or something using all of these. Got a huge pile of G1 styled hand pieces, standouts definitely being all of the colored ones. Now we're moving on to CCBS bones. We have a fantastic amount of them in the shortest variety. These are another one of my favorites, so I love getting this many of them. A bunch in the second shortest variety. The third shortest variety, these are definitely the size that I already have the most of in my collection. Some friction adders. And then we got a nice hodgepodge of different lengths of the pinhole variety ones. We got a whole lot of Hordika necks. I already had a lot of this piece as is, so I'm definitely not going to be running low on them anytime soon. An assortment of socket-to-socket connector pieces. I actually wouldn't have minded if there was more of these in there, but it is what it is. Next, we got a surprisingly large quantity of the biggest CCBS bone piece. Standouts definitely being these two, which were exclusive to 1 or 2 sets each. Some Av Matoran limbs, nothing too extravagant here. I just like using these for like extras and background characters. A bunch of random assorted G1 pieces that don't really fit into any other category. Cool to get a pair of these Slicer torsos though, because I've never had them before. Various useful armor pieces. Standouts were definitely these three particularly rare CCBS armor add-ons, as well as a bunch of this piece, which has significantly raised in price over these past few years due to its inclusion in a particularly rare Batman set. It's kind of an interesting scenario. Ben Cossey has a really good video covering the topic. Next, we've got a very large quantity of various foot pieces. Standouts to me were definitely these clawed feet in dark gray, because I don't really have too many of them in this color. Same thing with these 2 feet in red. Then for a quick rapid fire, we got a bunch of larger Hero Factory armor pieces, some head and mask related pieces. These were sadly the only ones in the bin, which was kind of a bummer to see. And then a bunch of like weapon tool parts, I guess. I don't think you could classify this as either, but this gold panel is actually exclusive to like a single Exoforce set or something like that, so it was really cool to see just sitting in the bin. And then there was this Duplo gas can piece, which I thought would be perfect to use as a prop for someone in a video. We've got a very large and very random assortment of a bunch of different Technic pieces. I actually recorded this footage while I was still in Albuquerque, so obviously it would have been pretty impractical to sort this out further when I was away from my organizers. So what you see there is what you get. No real standouts other than 3 of these black pin to axle connectors in the friction variety. These are a surprisingly expensive part secondhand for some reason, so to get 3 of them in one place was really awesome. Same deal, but this time with some bigger Technic pieces. Only real standouts to me were these 2, which I've actually never owned before. I think they were from like some Ninjago gimmick sets or something. Next, we have some very nice assortments of what are probably in my top 5 favorite LEGO pieces. The Technic ball connector and Rock eyes. I straight up might use these parts on like every single one of my Bionicle mocks, so it's fantastic to get more of them, no matter what the quantity is. And finally, to finish us off, we have 2 of these Ninjago spinners. I paid for these separate from the parts bag, and I actually got them because they were only $2 each, and I figured that I could maybe unscrew them and try to use them as like Terran magic effects or something. I'm just a sucker for any trans-purple Legos, I'm sure you all know. And as a quick little addendum, while I was on the trip, I also picked up this random small Ninjago set. I basically just got it because it was on sale, it was only 15 bucks at Walmart, and because the Roz figures and this dragon head mold looked cool to me. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this haul. One of my biggest to date, absolutely ecstatic about the parts selection here. Make sure to check out this Bricks and Minifigs if you're in the Albuquerque area. All of the workers there were super nice, and I just want to get them as much traction as possible. And that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.